I just want to show how you can set up a new user from scratch with amPIL and get up and running. So to start off, click up as a sign up as a new user, click sign up, choose your username, testing1, and type in your details. Enter an email address, and a password. And you'll be registered on amPIL. Once you have signed up, you will be sent an email. Click on the link on the email and your account will be activated. So log in with those details and you'll be good to go. So there are no subjects currently set up. So the first thing that you would do is add a subject. We're going to add maths as a subject. You can add as many as you want and select it. It'll prompt you to change the passwords. The default passwords are password. You can set an admin password and a student password, and you should change those using the user account in the menu below. We'll not do this though. We'll continue with the setup. So enter the admin password and you'll be prompted through. You've got a subject set up, so the first thing you want to do is set up a scheme of work. So I'll set up a Year 7 scheme of work. Add a couple of topics by clicking on the orange button to add topics. So fractions and percentages is what we're going to add. And we'll leave that at that for now. We can now set some assessments. I'm going to add 2. I'm going to add 1 manually. Assessment 1. And I'm going to add some questions. So I'm just going to add 2 questions. So question number 1 is going to be on percentages of amounts. And that's going to be worth 3 marks. And question number 2 is going to be on fractions of amounts, and that's going to be worth 4 marks. You can add grade boundaries here if you wanted to, but we're not going to. We're going to just add another assessment, assessment 2. And this time round, we're going to upload the information from a CSV file. So you can download the template, you can pre-populate it in advance, it saves you quite a lot of time. So I'm just going to choose the file that I've pre-populated here and import it. When you click import, you'll see that you get a save icon next to one of the assessments, and that's the one that you want to assign that data to. So I'm going to click next to assessment 2, and that's uploaded that successfully. So you can see there that all the questions for that assessment that I've uploaded are in there for us. You can turn on and off an assessment. So if you don't want the students to see it, you can click on the tick button there and it will disable it from the student's view. For the time being, we'll leave those both as they are. Next stage is to set up groups. So set up classes. We're going to add Year 7 and I'm going to add 2 classes. So I'm going to add 7x1 following the Year 7 scheme of work and 7x2 following the same scheme of work. Assigned assessments to each class, simply click on one and you can add the assessments that they're going to sit. So 7x1 are going to sit both assessment 1 and assessment 2, and we can do the same thing for set 2 as well. So assessment 1 and assessment 2. And it's as simple as that. So you've got 2 classes assigned, 2 of them set up. Next step is to map the topics from that scheme of work to the questions that you've got in any of the assessments. So the first one, fractions, you would assign any questions here to do with fractions to that topic. Those ones there. What that will do is it will check the student's performance on those topics and give the student a RAG rating on that topic. So that's what we've allocated for fractions. So for percentages, if we just do the same, and from the 2 assessments that we've got, I think that's your 3 topics there, and that will be done. If you've got a large number of questions and a large number of assessments, you can filter them out by searching for certain assessments or topics using the filters at the top. Terminal exams are used for a number of things, mainly in the mark book and for producing centre assessed grades. So in the UK, we've got 3 at the end of year 6. The students will sit a Key Stage 2 exam, so you can put information in there. At the end of year 11, our students sit a GCSE. At the end of year 11. And at the end of year 13, they sit an A level. And that's done now. So the school structure there is set up. So we can go ahead and we can add some student data. So to do that, the second part of this, click on the year group. I'm going to add a student manually, so I'm just going to click 7x1 and I'm going to add myself to this class. So click add, student ID. Each student needs a unique ID number. I'd recommend the roll numbers, perhaps generated from Sims. So I'm going to add myself there, and I'm going to put my birthday in. The birthdays are used for the students to log into amPIL themselves. So that's how they get into the student part of this. So I'll just save that student there, and I've got 1 in 7x1. You can also, again, upload all your students with a CSV file, so that's what I'm going to do now. I've selected it, click the import button, and it's going to import these students into the set 7x2. The sets need to be set up in advance for the import to happen, so you've got to have the set names matching accurately for that to work. Commit that to the database. There's 1 student there that's not in the import file, so the one that I've just added. So if you're importing the data from a previous year, it'll allow you to take any students off that list. So you can do that in bulk for the whole year. We're going to keep that student in the set that we've got, so that we've got 7x1 with 1 student in, and we've got 7x2 including the ones from the import. And now everything's set up for those students, those assessments that we've got. So that's taken just a little over 5 minutes.